Tonight, a Today Show host's life impacted beyond measure, sports updates from across the globe, and a new way to think about lunch. All that and more. This is Clemson News Now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brian Warner.
And I'm Jordan York. Halftime left plenty of fans underwhelmed, but those who stayed tuned for the latter half of the 60th Super Bowl saw the Seattle Seahawks take the victory over the New England Patriots. On Sunday, February 8th, the highly anticipated Super Bowl between the Seahawks and the Patriots came to a close, with the Seahawks lifting the Lombardi with a dominant 29-13 win. The Seahawks, led by quarterback Sam Darnold, won their second Super Bowl with a shockingly underwhelming game. Well, at least offensively.
At the end of the first half, the Seahawks were leading 9-0. All of their points scored with field goals by kicker Jason Myers, who by the end of the game had broken an NFL record for the most amount of successful field goals in a Super Bowl game. Aside from the field goals, there was no other point-scoring drives from both Seattle and New England until the fourth quarter. During these last 15 minutes of the game, Seahawks tight end A.J. Barner caught a pass from Sam Darnold to finally score a touchdown.
The Patriots, with quarterback Drake May, then answered with a touchdown of their own by wide receiver Mac Hollins. With less than 5 minutes left in the game, the Seattle defense forced a Patriots interception, with Devon Witherspoon knocking the ball away from May and into the hands of Uchenna Nwosu, who ran 44 yards to bring the Seahawks to 29 points. The Patriots tried to make up some ground in their last possession, with Ramondre Stevenson catching a touchdown pass, but their efforts were not enough to pull ahead. The Patriots offense had a disappointing game, with 8 of their first 9 possessions resulting in a punt, and though their defense kept Seattle from scoring touchdowns in the first half, the offense was unable to secure the victory.
Another highlight of this year's Super Bowl was the halftime performance by superstar Bad Bunny. The show featured hits like Titi Me Pregunta, Yo Pero Sola, and Safarea, and more of the Puerto Rican singer's greatest hits. The performance included scenes from Puerto Rican culture, hundreds of dancers and celebrities included in the background, and an actual wedding, Bad Bunny's Grammy Award, and songs from guests Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. Bad Bunny ended his show with the message, "The only thing more powerful than hate is love," illuminated on the Jumbotron screen, and a football that read, "Together, we are America."
Leading up to his performance, online chatter led to controversy as people criticized Bad Bunny, with some refusing to watch the performance. In response, political group Turning Point USA hosted their own All-American halftime show, featuring Kid Rock, Lee Brice, Gabby Barrett, and Brantley Gilbert. The performance was streamed on YouTube on the Turning Point USA channel to over 4 million people, showcasing a tribute to the late political activist Charlie Kirk at the end. Amid this controversy, President Trump released a statement on social media saying Bad Bunny's show was, quote, absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever, and that, quote, nobody understands a word this guy is saying, end quote. Despite the backlash, Bad Bunny's performance garnered over 128 million viewers, with praises for its powerful messages of love and unity.
The mother of the Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie has been reported missing, triggering a large-scale investigation now being treated as an abduction. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her home in Tucson's Catalina Foothills area between 9:30 and 9:45 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. After a friend dropped her off when she failed to appear at church the next morning, a concerned friend contacted her relatives. By noon, the family discovered she was not at home and alerted authorities.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department launched search and rescue efforts that night, deploying helicopters, drones, and infrared technology. Sheriff Chris Nanos emphasized that Nancy was mentally sharp, did not suffer from dementia, and had limited mobility. On February 2nd, investigators escalated the case, declaring it a criminal abduction. Blood was found at the home, and officials say Nancy did not leave willingly. She is also without critical daily medication, heightening urgency.
As of Tuesday, newly uncovered camera footage shows a suspect connected to the abduction at the door. Authorities have also confirmed that 2 ransom notes demanding payment in Bitcoin have been sent. Family members have released emotional videos on social media pleading for Nancy's safe return. while Savannah Guthrie has stepped away from the Today Show in order to assist investigators in any capacity as efforts continue to secure Nancy's safe return.
A disturbing video now gaining attention online is shedding new light on a crash that left a Charleston woman injured. The footage from last October shows the moment September Paul was struck by a car while crossing Ashley Avenue and Doughty Street. According to her attorney, Paul was, quote, hit by the small black sedan and thrown into the air, landing in a heap. Paul remains in stable condition but is continuing to recover from serious injuries.
The police report and initial investigation left little to no information and no witnesses, despite multiple people present in the video. This has led authorities to repost the clip last Monday in search for more witnesses. Police have not announced if any additional charges will be filed, but they say the renewed attention could be key in determining exactly what happened. Authorities are urging anyone who may have been near the intersection at that time or has information about the crash to come forward. Every tip counts and will help piece together what happened as the search continues.
From the softball field to the basketball courts and even a school record, Angelina Terry joins us now with all you need to know in Clemson athletics. Angelina, what you got for us?
Thanks, Jordan. We'll start out with the Tigers on the hardwood, and it was the men's basketball team that wrapped up a successful road trip to California, taking down Stanford in a nail-biter and then handling Cal 77-55, sitting at number 20 in the country and tied for first in the ACC and looking ahead toward a huge matchup with number 4 Duke Blue Devils on Saturday. The trap was set for the Tigers in Littlejohn against Virginia Tech last night. A Clemson defense that is among the nation's best in the points per game, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage broke down against the Hokies, and they pulled off a shocking upset 76-66. Virginia Tech shot 52% from the field and from three-point land and was a perfect 13 for 13 from the free throw line in the 10-point win. As for the Tigers, Carter Welling's 19 points and Nick Davidson's 16 weren't enough to keep the home win streak going, but now it's up to them to have a short-term memory because those Duke Blue Devils await at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina on Saturday at noon and have one goal in mind, avenging last year's loss at Littlejohn. Moving to the women's side of the court, it was the Tigers' turn to rebound after a close loss 53-44 to number 25 North Carolina in Chapel Hill last Thursday. On Saturday, they took on Boston College and were dominant in the victory 83-59. It was Clemson Life Day, and it was senior Mia Moore who brought the life to Clemson's offense with a career-high 30 points and 12 rebounds in the win. A double-double she'll never forget. The Tigers sit 8th in the ACC with a record of 8-5 in conference play. Tonight, they get a chance to eliminate the sting they felt earlier this season and a 3-point loss to Georgia Tech. Because it's a rematch with the Yellow Jackets and it's live in Littlejohn on the ACC network. Softball has been a roller coaster already, and the season just started. It was a wild NFCA leadoff classic down in Clearwater, Florida, that saw the Tigers take down top 5 Oregon and top 25 Liberty, but then fell to unranked Michigan State and Auburn. They had a chance to get back on track at home in the home opener at McWhorter Stadium, and they did exactly that. It only took 5 innings to take care of Furman, and the home fans walked away happy as the Tigers won 9-1. This weekend, they are in San Marco for the Bobcat Invitational. And last but certainly not least, women's lacrosse is off to a red-hot start, boasting the top 2 recruits in the country in this year's recruiting class. All eyes were on the Tigers coming into the season after a dominant 20-5 win against Vanderbilt. They met up with Furman at the Clemson Lacrosse Complex on Tuesday night. The Tigers won 18-1, but the story of the night was number 1 recruit in the nation. Attacker Alexis Spolina was sensational in the beatdown, setting a school record for points in a game. Spolina had 6 goals as well as 4 assists, tallying 10 total points and smashing the program's record for the most individual points in a game. The Tigers are 2-0 this season, and they conclude their homestand on Valentine's Day at noon against number 4 Stanford. That's all I got for you now. Back to you, Jordan.
Sounds like we should go watch Spalina play. They seem pretty good.
Probably should.
Thanks, Angelina. Staying home in the sports world, Anderson University athletics have been a premier story in Division II, with multiple programs making statements across the South Atlantic Conference. After the most successful fall season in school history, the winter and spring seasons are looking to bring even more success, and men's basketball is doing exactly that. The Trojans made history, starting 15-0 for the first time ever, and have spent 7 weeks in the top 5 in the Division II NCAA rankings, which the program had never been in the top 5 before. They sit 22-1 on a 7-game win streak and with a 3-game lead with just 5 games to play in the South Atlantic Conference.
Head coach Jimmy Williams commented on their outstanding season so far, saying, quote, "We have a lot left to accomplish. We will continue to give God glory and will keep working to chase our best," end of quote. The Trojans go on the road for the next 2 games against conference rivals Lincoln Memorial and Catawba before returning home for senior day on February 21st. The Trojans seek their first conference title and NCAA tournament appearance since 2014, and they have a chance at hosting the NCAA Southeast Regional for the first time in program history.
Basketball isn't the only program making noise at AAU. Men's lacrosse is looking to take their success to a new level after falling in the first round of the NCAA tournament last season in their first ever appearance. The Trojans had the eyes of the D2 men's lacrosse world this offseason, returning their top 6 goal scorers and their starting goalie. They came into the 2026 season ranked 8th in the nation and with 5 preseason All-Americans. Anderson opened the season with a win in the Holy War at home against North Greenville University, taking home the trophy for just the second time in 5 seasons. And now they head down to Jacksonville to take on number 14 Embry-Riddle University Saturday at 1:30.
And last but not least, Anderson baseball is off to a 7-0 start, their best since the 2022 season, where the Trojans started 11-0 but finished the year at just .500. The Trojans opened conference play with a 3-game series this weekend against big-time rival Newberry, who the Trojans have yet to beat since 2018. Reigning local Southeast Region and National Player of the Week, outfielder Braden Harrison is off to a hot start, batting .609 this season and driving in 2 homers and 17 RBIs. We'll see if he can keep his bat on fire this weekend at Anderson Memorial Stadium.
Looking at international sports headlines, the Winter Olympics in Milan and Cortina officially began Friday, February 6th, and Team USA has already collected 12 medals, 4 gold, in the early competition. In figure skating, USA successfully defended its Olympic title in the team event, edging out Japan. Standout performances came from Ilya the Quad God Malinin, with Madison Chalk and Evan Bates taking home silver in the pairs event.
Over in freestyle skiing, Elizabeth Lemley led Team USA with a gold medal, and teammate Jalen Kaw followed with silver in women's moguls. In the speed skating arena, Jordan Stoles stood atop the podium, claiming both gold and an Olympic record in the men's 1,000 meters. The U.S. women's hockey team has also been strong early on, remaining undefeated, including a 5-0 win over their Canadian rival, heading into the quarterfinals with momentum. Other medals include alpine skiing, speed skating, cross-country skiing, curling, and luge.
And in other Olympics news, American skiing legend Lindsey Vonn made headlines this week after crashing during her downhill event on Saturday, requiring an airlift to the hospital. The 41-year-old suffered a broken tibia just seconds into the race and has since underwent immediate surgery. On Wednesday, Vonn shared that her procedures were finished with successful surgeries and a promising road to recovery ahead. With just over half of the events remaining and several athletes chasing medals and personal bests, Team USA is set to continue its strong start and aims to keep the momentum going.
With a glimpse of sunshine and 70 degrees this week, we now turn to Kate Taylor with all the weather updates. Kate, what do you have for us?
Well, Tigers, it's a bit of a mixed bag as we look at the upcoming forecast here in Tigertown. We kick things off Friday with a cool but sunny skies and highs in the upper 50s. A chilly start, but nothing a light jacket can't tackle. You might want to trade your sunglasses for an umbrella this weekend, as clouds will be rolling in Saturday and a high chance of rain on Sunday, with temperatures hovering in the low 50s. Don't let it dampen your spirits, though, because by Monday we're back to sunny skies and 60-degree weather. This cloudy heat wave will continue throughout Thursday as the temperature climbs into the upper 60s. By Friday, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-70s and partly cloudy skies, with only a small chance of showers trying to crash the party. So Tigers, grab some outdoor time when you can. This stretch of steady, mild weather is too good to waste. Back to you, Brian.
Thanks for the update, Kate. Our final story comes from right here in the upstate. District officials have announced that Greenville County schools are set to receive $60,000 to enhance student meals with locally grown foods. The funding is a part of the Certified South Carolina program, a state-funded effort run by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, which supports partnerships between school districts and South Carolina farmers.
Officials say that this is more than just a change on the menu, but an investment in student nutrition and a boost for local farmers who supply the crops. Greenville County plans to use the grant to purchase Carolina Gold Rice, a long-grain heirloom rice with deep cultural roots in the region. Under the Certified South Carolina program, participating schools are reimbursed for buying South Carolina-grown and owned produce, and districts that source larger percentages of local food receive additional benefits. At J.L. Mann High School, students were able to have a lunch featuring the Carolina Gold Rice as part of the kickoff of the program, getting a chance to learn about the agricultural history so close to home. Support for ongoing developments for the program will continue throughout the year with plans to phase in local ingredients across all Greenville County schools.
And with that last bit of good news, that's all we have for this week. Tune in next week for all of the news you need to know. News nationally to locally, I'm Brian Warner.
And I'm Jordan York. Clemson News Now.